Today is December the 8th, 2018, and this is a rebuild completion video on engine number FP9601UE. This is a completely rebuilt Midget or Spitfire 1500 engine that came to me as a core. According to the previous owner, it had run well but began to lose oil pressure and was a little low on power. Just needed to be rebuilt. It's bored 20 thousandths over with new flat top pistons. The crank was turned to 20 thousandths under on the mains and 30 thousandths under on the rods. The cam bearing journals were worn, so the machine shop aligned bored the cam journals and installed new cam bearings. It has a new camshaft. The head received new valve guides and springs, and the valves were ground along with the seats. I cleaned up the rocker assembly and replaced the rocker shaft. I had my machine shop shave 50 thousandths off the TKC 2748 low compression head to increase the compression. Excuse me. It has a new oil pump, timing chain, tensioner, and along with numerous other new items. Of course, all new gaskets and new, as I mentioned before, new rocker shaft, new pistons, new bearings, and it has been test driven over 25 miles so far. I generally like to put 50 to 75 miles on them just to make sure that everything's running right, oil pressure holds, and the temperature doesn't fluctuate much. And so this one ran great with plenty of power. Water temperature was steady at 160 degrees. It's 25 degrees outside today. Excuse me. Outside today. The oil pressure never dropped below 35 at idle and 65 at cruising. Retorqued the head and readjusted the valves. Checked the compression after that just 25 miles. And number one is at 175 psi, number two 175 psi, number three 180, and number four 185. Now the difference is because in the pressures is because the rings are no doubt not fully seated, and you may even see some higher compression numbers after that happens. And but that just provides plenty of compression for plenty of power, and yet still not be anything more than just a street motor. The covers have been powder coated red, and the block is been painted, heat temperature painted black. So let me give it a start, and I'll not be able to talk during the video because the sound of the motor just drowns out my voice. I want to show you the gauges. and get them in focus here a little bit. I have a little trouble getting them focused, but looks like the temperature is about 145. It's cooled off a little bit since I ran it and got it warmed up earlier, but it'll hold about 160, and at idle right now it's showing 65 in oil pressure. Once it gets hot, it'll calm down and get down around 35 or so, and that's all pretty good. So all right, well, that completes this video.